Hello everyone, and welcome back to Mr. and Mrs. Oxford, the podcast for English learners who want to improve their skills in a fun and relaxed way. I'm JD.
And I'm Hazel. So wonderful to have you with us again. And before we do anything else, we have some really exciting news to share.
We do. As of this week, Mr. and Mrs. Oxford now has subtitles available in multiple languages.
Yes, we know that for some of you, especially if you are just starting your English journey, it can be really helpful to read along in your own language while you listen.
So we have added subtitles to make this podcast even more accessible. You can find them in the settings below the video. Just choose your language and follow along.
We hope this makes things a little easier, especially for our newer listeners. You are so welcome here, no matter what level you are starting from.
Absolutely. Okay, and before we dive in, can I just say, the comments from last week completely made our week.
They really did. We gave you a 2-part small talk challenge. Start one conversation, and then notice how you felt afterwards. And so many of you wrote in to tell us how it went.
One listener wrote that she tried small talk with the cashier at her supermarket. She said, "I was so nervous, but I did it. And afterwards, I felt like I could fly." That is just the best thing to read.
It really is. That feeling, that tiny moment of pride after you push through the nerves, that is exactly how confidence gets built. One small conversation at a time.
Beautifully put. Okay, today's episode. And this one has been requested a lot. Hazel, would you like to do the honors?
I would love to. Today, we are talking about pronunciation. Specifically, some of the sounds in English that learners find most challenging, and some simple techniques to help you feel more clear and more confident about the way you sound.
Because here is something we want to say right at the start. This episode is not about having a perfect accent. It is not about sounding like a BBC newsreader or a Hollywood actor.
Not at all. The goal of good pronunciation is clarity. Can the other person understand you? That is what matters. And there are a few small changes that can make a really, really big difference.
So grab your notebook, find a quiet corner, and let's get into it.
Let's start with something important. Why does pronunciation feel so difficult for so many learners? Because I think understanding the reason actually helps.
Great question. And I think the honest answer is, English spelling and English pronunciation do not always match. At all.
Ha! At all. That is such a good way to put it. In a lot of languages, when you see a word written down, you can predict pretty accurately how it sounds. English is not always like that.
Not always. Think about the word though. Though. You might expect it to sound like thog or though, but it sounds like though.
Or tough. Same ending, completely different sound. Tough.
Or through. Through.
Or thought. Thought.
All spelt with the same of ending. 4 completely different sounds. English is wild.
It is wild. But here is the good news. You do not need to memorize every single exception before you can speak well. What helps most is focusing on a small number of the most important sounds, the ones that come up again and again, and that make the biggest difference to how clearly you are understood.
And that is exactly what we are going to do today. We are going to look at 4 areas: the TH sound, vowel length, word stress, and connected speech. Each one is very common and very useful.
And if you are a complete beginner, do not worry. We will go slowly, step by step, and we will give you lots of examples. You can always come back and listen again. That is what we are here for.
Okay, let's start with one of the most well-known challenges in English pronunciation: the TH sound.
Oh yes, this one is tricky for so many learners. And the reason is simple. In many languages, there is no TH sound at all. It just does not exist.
So when learners first come across it, the temptation is to replace it with the nearest sound they do have. Often a D, or a T, or an S, or a Z.
Right, so this becomes dis. Think becomes tink. 3 becomes tree.
And here is something a lot of learners do not know. There are actually 2 different TH sounds in English. They look the same on paper, but they feel different in your mouth.
That is a really good point. Let me explain. The first TH sound is what we call voiced. You can feel a little vibration in your throat when you make it. Think of these words: the, this, that, these, those, they, their, with, mother, brother, father.
The second TH sound is unvoiced. No vibration, just air. Think of these words: think, 3, thank, through, Thursday, something, toothbrush, both, math.
And the way you make both sounds is the same. You put the tip of your tongue very lightly between your upper and lower teeth, just the very tip, and then you push air out.
You do not need to stick your whole tongue out, just the tip, just barely touching your teeth. And then you release the air.
A lot of people feel a bit silly doing this at first, but give it a try right now. Say, the. Tip of your tongue, touch your teeth, push air. The.
And now, the unvoiced version. Say, think. Same position. Think.
Honestly, even just trying this sound, even if it is not perfect yet, makes a huge difference to how clearly you are understood. It is one of the best things you can practice.
And practice is really the key word. Say these words out loud today, tonight, tomorrow morning. The, this, that. 3. Think. Thank you. The more your mouth does it, the more natural it becomes.
Okay, next up, vowel length. Now, a vowel is one of these letters: A, E, I, O, U. And in English, how long you hold a vowel sound can completely change the meaning of a word.
Yes. And this is something that can cause real confusion in conversation. Let me give you some examples.
Ship and sheep. The vowel sound in ship is very short. I. Ship. The vowel in sheep is long. E. Sheep. Different length. Completely different word.
Or full and fool. Full, short, rounded sound. Fool, longer, rounder. Full, fool.
Or bit and beat. Bit, quick and sharp. Beat, longer, stretched out. Bit, beat.
Now, why does this matter so much? Because if you say the wrong length, people might misunderstand you. You might ask for a sheet of paper, and it sounds like shit. Or you talk about your beach holiday, and it sounds like something very different.
Yes, that is a very important one to get right.
Ha! So, how do you practice this? A great technique is to really exaggerate the difference when you are practicing at home. Make the short sounds very short and crisp, and make the long sounds really long, almost like you are singing them.
It will feel a bit dramatic at first, but that exaggeration helps your ear and your mouth learn to feel the difference. Once you can feel the difference, you can control it.
And over time, your natural version will land in the right place. The exaggeration is just the training.
Now let's talk about something that is not talked about enough in pronunciation practice: word stress.
Word stress. This is one of my favorite topics, actually, because getting it right makes you sound so much more natural.
So, what is word stress? It is simple. In English, every word with more than one syllable has one syllable that is a little bit louder, a little bit longer, and a little bit higher than the others. That is the stressed syllable.
Let me give you an easy example. The word important. Im-POR-tant. The middle part is louder and longer. Pour. Im-POR-tant. Say it with me. Im-POR-tant.
Or beautiful. Beautiful. The first part is stressed. Beautiful.
Or yesterday. Yesterday. Stress on yes. Yesterday.
When you put the stress in the wrong place, it can be hard for people to understand you, even if every single sound is correct. Stress is really that important.
Here is a little bonus for those of you who want to go a step further. Some words in English change their stress depending on whether they are a noun or a verb. This is more advanced, so beginners, don't worry if this feels like a lot right now. Just file it away for later.
For example, the word present. As a noun, a present, a gift. It was a present for her birthday. As a verb, to present. She will present the results.
Or record. As a noun, a record. I broke a record. As a verb, to record. I want to record this.
Cool, right? The same word, two different stress patterns. But again, do not feel like you need to learn all of this today. The most important thing is simply to be aware that stress exists and to notice it when you listen.
And one more tip. If you are ever unsure about the stress of a word, look it up in a dictionary. Good dictionaries, including free online ones, always mark stress. You will see a small mark before the stressed syllable. That is your guide.
Okay, we have saved one more topic for the end of today, and this one is a little more advanced. It is called connected speech. Beginners, it is totally fine to just listen to this part today without trying to use it yourself. Just noticing it is already a big step.
Yes. Connected speech is the reason why native English speakers can sometimes sound very fast or hard to understand. Because in natural conversation, we do not say each word separately, like reading a list.
Right. Words flow into each other. Sounds change. Sometimes sounds almost disappear.
And when you have only seen English in textbooks, this can be really confusing. You have learned all the words, but in real speech, they sound different. And that is completely normal. It happens to every learner.
So let us look at a few of the most common patterns. The first one, and we actually mentioned this back in episode 1, is going to, becoming gonna.
Yes. I'm going to do it. In natural, relaxed speech often becomes, I'm going to do it. The going to blends and shortens. Gonna.
Similarly, want to often becomes wanna. I want to go home. Do you want to come?
And have to often becomes have to. I have to leave now.
These are not lazy or incorrect. They are simply what natural, relaxed speech sounds like. You will hear them everywhere, in films, in podcasts, in real conversations.
Another very common pattern is called linking. This is when the end of one word connects smoothly to the beginning of the next.
For example, turn it off. In slow, careful speech, turn it off. 3 separate words. But in natural speech, turn it off. It sounds almost like one word. Turn it off.
Or pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up.
If you have ever watched an English film and thought, I cannot understand what they are saying, connected speech is usually why. The sounds are all there. They are just flowing together.
So what can you do with this? First, just start noticing it. When you are watching a series or listening to a podcast, listen for these flowing sounds. You do not need to use them yourself yet. Just training your ear is already very valuable.
And if you feel ready, you can start trying a little bit of linking in your own speech. Not forced, just gentle. Let the end of one word flow into the start of the next.
How are you? Not 3 separate words, but how are you? It feels different at first, but it is really satisfying when it starts to feel smooth.
Right. Let's pull everything together. There was a lot in today's episode, so let's make sure it all sticks.
First, the TH sound. Put the tip of your tongue lightly between your teeth and push air out. Voiced for words like the, this, that. Unvoiced for words like think, 3, thank.
Second, vowel length. Short vowels and long vowels can change the meaning of a word completely. Practice by exaggerating the difference. Short sounds, very short. Long sounds, really stretch them out.
Third, word stress. Every word with more than one syllable has one part that is louder and longer than the others. That is the stressed syllable. When in doubt, check a dictionary.
And fourth, connected speech. In natural English, words flow together. Going to becomes gonna. Words link and blend. Start by noticing it when you listen.
4 areas, all very common, all completely worth your attention, at whatever pace is right for you.
Okay, challenge time. And this week, we have a fun one.
We want you to pick just one of the 4 areas from today's episode. Just one. The TH sound, vowel length, word stress, or connected speech. whichever one feels most interesting or most useful to you right now.
And your challenge is this: spend 5 minutes practicing it out loud. Just 5 minutes. At home, in private, with no one listening. Pure, pressure-free practice.
For the TH sound, say these words out loud, slowly and clearly. The, this, that. Think. 3. Thank you. Try 10 times each. Slowly at first, then a little faster.
For vowel length, practice these pairs out loud. Ship and sheep. Full and fool. Bit and beat. Say them back and forth. Feel the difference in your mouth.
For word stress, pick 3 or 4 words you use a lot and look them up in a free online dictionary to see where the stress falls. Then say each word 10 times out loud, really pushing that stressed syllable.
And for connected speech, choose one simple phrase and say it in one smooth flow. How are you? I want to go. Pick it up. Say it slowly, then naturally, then a little faster. Notice how it starts to feel more smooth.
5 minutes, one area, out loud, that is it.
And of course, we want to hear all about it in the comments. Tell us which area you chose and how it felt. Did anything surprise you? Did anything feel suddenly easier? We genuinely love reading what you share.
Every single comment gets read. We mean that.
And while we are on the subject of comments, can we just take a moment to say how grateful we are? Because honestly, the community that is growing around this podcast is something really special.
It really is. People from so many different countries, at so many different stages of their English journey, all encouraging each other. It is wonderful to see.
And if you have been listening for a while but have never left a comment, please, this is your moment. It does not need to be long. Hello from Brazil, or I tried the TH sound, and it is hard, but I will keep going. That is enough. We love it all.
And if you have a topic you would love us to cover, a grammar question, a situation that makes you nervous, vocabulary for a specific context, please tell us in the comments. Your suggestions genuinely shape the show.
We have already had several episodes come directly from listener requests. Your voice matters here.
It really does. This podcast is for you, and the best version of it is one we build together.
Right, next week. JD, would you like to tease what is coming?
I would love to. Next week, we are talking about false friends. And no, not the kind of friends who say one thing and mean another.
Ha! Although actually, that is not a bad description.
Ha! Fair point. False friends are words that look or sound very similar in English and another language, but have completely different meanings, and they can lead to some very funny and sometimes very embarrassing misunderstandings.
For German speakers especially, there are some really wonderful examples. Words that seem like they should mean one thing, but absolutely do not. We are going to have a lot of fun with this one.
It is going to be a really entertaining episode. And educational. Entertainingly educational.
Until then, keep listening, keep practicing, and please be kind to yourself on this journey. Pronunciation takes time. Every single attempt counts, even the ones that feel a bit wobbly.
Especially those ones, actually. The wobbly attempts are where all the learning happens.
So beautifully put. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
It means everything.
Bye everyone, happy speaking!